Hi, this is Tutor Nick P, and this is Proverbs 203. The title of the proverb today is When It Rains, It Pours. Okay, let's take a look at the note here. This proverb basically means that once something starts to happen, it tends to happen in large amounts. Even though it could be used to refer to positive or negative things, it is more often used with negative things. Probably the far majority of the time, around 80% or 90% of the time you hear it, it'll probably be more with negative than positive. Let's continue. The original phrase was, "It never rains, but it pours." And it is sometimes still used. You could still sometimes hear this. However, because the Morton Salt Company, and this company is still around, I can very clearly remember in the supermarket seeing a picture of this salt company, and they had a picture of a little girl with an umbrella, and it's raining. They're still around. They've been around for a lot of years. And they still have that same picture, and they still use the same phrase. So because the Morton Salt Company used it in an ad to sell its salt, they shortened it to "When it rains, it pours." So they're the ones that shortened it. And this has become the more common use. So the more common use is the shorter one, "When it rains, it pours," as opposed to the original one, it never rains, but it pours. Okay, let's continue. This proverb was used with a picture of a girl, like I said, holding an umbrella to advertise the idea their salt poured out freely and was not affected by damp weather. All right, so, they were trying to show that maybe back at that time, maybe it was common that some salt companies, maybe with the damp weather, some of the salt clumped up into like little solid pieces, and they were trying to show that their salt doesn't do this. So that's what they're saying, when it rains, it pours. It means when it rains outside and the weather is damp, their salt still pours. It still pours freely. So that's the way they were using. It's very catchy. It was a good slogan for them. All right, let's continue. One of the earliest citations of this proverb dates back to 1726, so it has been around for a long time. As the title of a book by John Arbuthnot called "It Cannot Rain, But It Pours," or "London Strode with Rarity." So this was used in a title. Okay. All right, let's continue. And we have three examples of how we might hear it used today. Here's the first one. Business was already slowing down the last quarter of 2019. Maybe it was getting slower and slower over time anyway. But when the coronavirus hit, it decimated our sales. Boy, when it rains, it pours. Like they were still trying to fight and recover and bring back, their business to raise their sales again, but then they just got hit by the coronavirus and forget it. All right, let's say number two here. We only had a few customers all day. However, when those bus loads stopped at our store, we had more customers than we could handle. Wow. When it rains, it pours. Now I gave this example because this is one of the positive uses of it, because they got a lot of customers. So it was large amounts, so there was more than they could handle. So this is one of the few examples where you might hear where it could be used for something positive. All right, and then here's the last one. Poor Jack really had a bad week. His car got totaled. He probably got into a car accident, and his car got so damaged it can't be repaired. He's going to have to get a new one. He got fired, and he found out his father got cancer. So these are three really bad things that happened to him, all in the course of just 1 week. And B here says, sometimes it happens like that. When it rains, it pours. So this is exactly the way we often might hear it used. Okay, anyway, I hope you got it. I hope it was clear. I hope it was informative. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.